All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Chris Crenshaw, and we are live from the 704 once again for episode, what is this, 212? 212 of the A15 Exchange. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, football is back. Yes, football is back. Not like preseason, not even though we have some stuff to talk about in the end of our preseason, but I'm talking about college football is back, which means football is back, and it is the most wonderful time of the year once again. So, of course, we're going to be kicking it off as traditionally we do here on the A15 Exchange with CFB. But before we get to that, of course, we also have stuff to talk about in the MLB that literally happened within this past hour while I was even trying to get set up. We have entertainment to talk about. We have stuff in the Roundup. We have everything, all right? We have everything. Everything you can want more is glorious. I almost made motorsport its own subject for what we have to talk about, but I was like, you know what? Let me just juice the Roundup. But with that said, as always, remember to like, share, and subscribe if you guys enjoying the content. Y'all been going crazy. And as always, all right, everything you're looking for can be found in the description. This episode is not going to be 20 minutes like last week. So unfortunately, you are going to have to sit back. You are going to have to get your food and drink. And you can also just skip ahead because timestamps are also embedded in the video. So, yeah, if you really want to hear me talking about college football and what happened with them Seminoles, feel free to skip ahead past this intro because it is, of course, like I said, embedded. It's long-form content. I get it. Watch what you want to watch. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I've talked about it enough here in the intro. Let's get straight to it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's back. College football is back. CFB is back. The segment is back. And we started off with a bang. We were over in Dublin. All right. And Seamus was the only one. Seamus was the only one to pick Georgia Tech. And you know what? Leading up to this game, I saw a lot of disrespect for the Yellow Jackets. I saw a lot of people like, oh yeah, Florida State's going to wipe them down, all that stuff. And I was just like, you know what? And I said it last week when I was talking about CFB and what I expect for this season. But I expect some chaos because I feel like there's a lot of turnover. We lost a lot of the stars of the sport last season and in the offseason, I guess you want to call it, for college football. We lost a lot. There was a lot of movement. Conference realignment has effed everything up. And we're in a little bit of a transition period. So this season could be a little hectic. And I felt like a lot of people were just kind of accustomed to Georgia Tech being mediocre. And they saw what Florida State did last year. Even though they lost some people, they were like, all right, pull it up, DJU. Surely he's figured it out here for year 16 million. Something. They're going to be fine. All right, Georgia Tech's not that good. Well, here you go. Here you go. Yeah, G-Tech gets the game winner. Shout out to Burr with the 44-yarder. That was a cold moment, by the way. 44-yarder overseas. Shout out to Ken Carson. With the war chant ringing out, and you just send us home. Cold-blooded. All right, cold-blooded from Burr. But this game was about the Haynes. All right, Haynes King, of course. Year 2 as quarterback at G-Tech. Former transfer from Texas A&M. Former very highly regarded quarterback recruit as well. And, of course, Jamal Haynes representing Grayson High School, the famed Grayson High School powerhouse in Georgia. And, yeah, it was about the Haynes. All right, it was about the Haynes. Jamal Haynes is a dog. Like I just said, he was a dog at Grayson. He's been a dog at G-Tech, so I was not surprised. But he was running wild on what was supposed to be the best defensive line, one of the best in college football, and the best in the ACC. Yeah, that he didn't really show up. D-Jax, the big freak. No. Marvin Jones Jr., where were you? Peyton, where were you? Like what they were getting beat up. All right, they were getting beat up. They were getting bullied by that G-Tech offensive line, and G-Tech wanted it more. Simply put, Georgia Tech wanted it more. This is not your Georgia Tech from 5 years ago when they were in the dumps and they were in the cellar. This is not that Georgia Tech team. They've done a great job accumulating talent. They've done a great job developing talent, and it's starting to pay off. And it paid off in this game. I think Florida State obviously was a little bit overrated. DJU is just never going to be. I saw somebody say, and I thought it was brilliant. He needs to decide whether he wants to be a UFL legend, or I don't even know if he'd be a UFL legend at this point, but a UFL starter. Or he wants to join the bloodline. That's his 2 career paths at this point because he just don't got it. The 2 people that were in his class that he was compared to in the state of California, one of them went 1-1 and had a, shaky rookie season, but still went, first overall, had a great college career. I think he won the Heisman as well. His name is like Bryce Young. Yeah, he's the quarterback currently here in the 704, in fact. Oh, and the other guy in California that was underneath DJ and Bryce, yeah, he just won Offensive Rookie of the Year. People are saying he's a top 10 quarterback in year 2. So, DJU kind of lagging behind. All the physical gifts in the world, but boy, oh boy, does it never show. Boy, oh boy, does it never show. Never shows. For as big as his arm is supposedly 7.1 yards, per completion. I think that was the graphic. At halftime, he was 12 for whatever, and he had negative 0.1 yard average. The dump off king. We talked about Bo Nix in that, but at least Bo Nix was winning games and putting up numbers. DJ's not even doing that. So yeah, don't know if Big Cinco, even though I took that name away from him, is the guy for Florida State. But they better figure something out fast because that was ugly. And after all the progress Mike Norvell and that team made last year, it did not look good. But we will see. But Georgia Tech makes a statement, put some respect on their name, and college football is back. All right. That was the main game of the slate. We had some other stuff happen, so shout out to you if you had a week 0 game. But of course, week 1 is next week. It'll be a lot more jam-packed. We got Georgia Clemson, we got Notre Dame TAMU, and of course we got Fido and USC taking on LSU, which would be very interesting. That would have been a crazy game last year. That would have been like 50-50. All right, maybe even 60-60, 70-70. With Caleb and Jaden, that would have been nuts. But we got them this year. So yeah, like I said, it's a transition period. So I don't know. It could get weird here in week 1. All right, it really could get weird this early. So we're going to see. But like I said, it's the most wonderful time of the year. College football is back. And even though I've been very pissed off about conference realignment, CFB is still my thing. And yeah, welcome back to the first page of A15 Exchange. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the roundup, excuse me. Let's get to entertainment. All right, let's get to entertainment. Industry, episode 2. Can't wait for episode 3 tonight, which will be out by the time you watch this. But episode 2, little recap. Yaz and Henry. All right, Yaz and Henry. Yaz is just on top. It's been a very smooth, by the way. And not that Harper is obviously still like, it's more of like a group setting more than focused on, I guess, Harper now. And if anybody, I guess, is the title character, I guess it is Yaz at this point. But it's more ensemble based for this season, but it's been an incredible first 2 episodes. Yaz and Henry's going to be interesting. Saw that coming, but going to be very interesting. And of course, HBO, so we have to have some depravity. So of course, we have a piss fetish. But yeah, that's going to be interesting. But yeah, loving the power dynamics and how they're fluctuating and how we're going. I want to see how this goes. Ken Lung continues to be amazing as Eric. Okay, absolutely amazing. And continues to be great. Rob is spiraling and fixing things and spiraling at the same time. So normal Rob stuff. And Harper is now cooking with Peter. So we will see what happens in tonight's episode. Actually, yeah, Sunday's episode, which I think they're all coming together. So yeah, that should be fine. But industry, best show on telly, music this week. All right, we got Cinch. He returned with Bolinde Noir. I believe I said that right. All right, we have JRK19. French. We had some French on that track, which I love. All right, I took took French in college. For those that do not know a little bit. All right, I read it better than I can speak it at this point. But yeah, I kind of want to download Duolingo so I can sharpen back up, and I love learning new languages. So yeah. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that. That was fire. I like that more than the Billion Streams freestyle, which he also posted on IG. Both made the playlist. But yeah, Cinch, I know he's been a bit of a controversial, just a bit of a controversial figure lately. But yeah, I'm still rocking with the boy. And yeah, Bolide Noir though, that was the one. Drizzy. We got more 100 gigs. All right, we got 100 gigs part 2. Circadian Rhythm, SOD, which is Super Soak, and No Face. All right. I've always been, even when Yachty was on Super Soak, I was like, okay. Like, if you throw it on in the car, in the whip, I'll be like, all right. But it's not my favorite. Of the 3, similar to the one with Lotto last time out, it's not my favorite. Circadian Rhythm was fire. But No Face is the one. No Face is the one. It has been getting spun nonstop in my presence. It is getting spun ridiculous amounts. Okay? It'd be going number 1 if it was out on streaming with the amounts I've been spinning No Face. No Face, No Face, No Face. Alright, Cardi was also in that, but he only had like 5 words. He just said No Face a little bit in the chorus. Alright, so not an actual verse. The song did sound a little unfinished, which I guess makes sense in the kind of like the leak kind of like theme of 100 gigs. But if they do though, and Cardi gives a very solid verse, I would really love that when that goes out on streaming. But yeah, Drizzy, like I said, and a lot of people are like surprised, but I guess y'all have like, I don't know if y'all have thinking. And again, as I've said many times, Kendrick said a lot of dumb stuff during the feud. The thing he said the most dumb was that the audience isn't stupid. Well, besides the fake child, but was that the audience isn't stupid. And it's like, I think y'all are stupid, because why would Drake think he took a loss? Why would Drake ever, if you were in that position, ever conceptually think he took a loss? Which he explained in this song, right? Why would he ever, right? Because, kid, I got the big hit, sure. But I got off everything, eliminated all my enemies, and then all the ops that I've had and have known are now finally out in the open. I feel free. I don't know why he would be stressed or down or scrambling, like people are saying. And then I see a lot of people saying, oh, Drizzy's scrambling, Drake is scrambling. He's just throwing at a wall, hoping something sticks. No. He's doing what he wants. He said a very long time ago that when he's done having fun with it, when I'm done having fun with it, I'll be done with it. He's still having fun. Sure, he could throw this on streaming, but he's doing this for the fans. We're getting all this content of how he made all of these legendary songs, all these legendary albums. And people are complaining and talking about he's scrambling. He doesn't care. I truly believe he probably feels the freest he has in a very long time. And also, some of y'all need to look up how contracts work and how rights work, especially somebody the caliber of Drake. If you think that Lucien Grange has any type of actual pull over Drizzy's career, you have lost your fucking mind. No, excuse my French, okay? But Drizzy, no face, fire. Keeping on, we got another prison tape from Tory Lanez, by the way, which was very good. All right, so yeah, shout out to Tory. Oh, I just had it up. Yeah, 580 Benz. Feed Halloween. So not my favorite of the prison tapes, but still fire. Kept it moving, and yeah, that was music. Pretty. We talked about some stuff. Of course, we talked about Taman on the reactions. So we also had NCT Dream, which, by the way, I did a reaction for that, but we lost the footage in my SD cards being corrupted. So that was great. So that reaction will probably never see the light of day, but I did listen to that. It was still very good. But yeah, entertainment, very solid week. All right, very, very, very solid week. Very good stuff. We move. All right, we move. And before I talk about that man, let's talk about that other man. The two best player in the world. We talk about him every week. All right, the two best player in the world, the two aliens, are still doing just exactly that. All right, Shohei Ohtani has hit 40-40. We've been building up to it week after week in the MLB segment, and it is finally here. And boy, did he choose a way to do it. A walk-off. It felt scripted. But sometimes baseball is just romantic. It's romantic like that, right? Sometimes it can, we have these scripted moments, it feels like. But yeah, Ohtani hits 40-40 in walk-off fashion, and then he hit home the next day. So yeah, he's at 41-40, I think, currently. But I guess now we're on the chase for 50-50, which I would not outlook. I think it's crazy, by the way, that this Cy Young level pitcher decided that, you know what, I can't pitch for a season because I got Tommy John, so let me just become a 40-40 guy. That's creative player. He's legitimately a creative player. This is somebody's road to the show player. All right, that is he's God's road to the show player. It doesn't make any sense. He's a 99. It's like you gave him a 90. It's one of those players you make as a kid, and you give him all 99 stats in everything, and he's just a mutant. That's what Ohtani is, all right? For all intents and purposes, that is what Ohtani is, 40-40, absolutely insane for a guy that is, again, once a lifetime. All right, generational isn't enough. Lifetime, all right? Once in a lifetime talent. Shout out to Shohei Ohtani, 40-40. And, of course, I got to give a shout-out to the boy. Got to give a shout-out to the boy, man. I got to give a shout-out to that boy, AJ, the captain. Aaron Judge is at, not 50, no. I had show notes ready after he hit the first one today. And I was like, yep, 50 home runs, man. He's on that, pace to break or tie his record. And then he hit 51. So, I would say I don't know why people are pitching to him. But at this point, you kind of got to, because you got Juan Soto, which is why we need to give Juan Soto a blank check. Stan also hit a home run. So we went back to back today and got the W. So yeah, shouts to the Rockies. But Aaron Judge, it's a shame. Again, there are some players, Bobby Witt Jr., named who you've said repeatedly and covered repeatedly on this channel. is having a great season. He is having a great season, but it's just not going to happen. Aaron Judge is just I don't know if I don't know if I've loved a player more. Like I don't know if I've loved an athlete more than I love Aaron Judge. I love that man. I really do. It feels so. It brings me so much happiness that he is a Yankee. Like, give him another contract. Like, we're not paying him enough. That's how I feel about Aaron Judge right now. Highest batting average for a over 50 home run season. He's joining what? I think one of 4 or 5 men. I think 5, including him now. To have at least 3 multi 50 home run seasons. One away from tying Babe. It's just he's him and Ohtani are just the best players in the world, and it's a gift to watch. And one of them's on my team, and it's just like he's the best hitter of this generation. One of the best hitters of all time, I think we can say at this point. But like I said, man, it's crazy. All right, he's hit like 8 home runs in 9 games. It might even be 9 and 9 because he hit 2 today. So just absolutely crazy stuff from Aaron Judge, AL MVP. I'm so sorry to Bobby Witt Jr. because you deserve it. But unfortunately, you are playing at the same time as Aaron Judge, and that's just unfortunate for everybody. Or fortunate for us, the fans, except if you're, in the AL East. Or you just hate the Yankees, which, people still like Judge, and they hate the Yankees, which is, aura at this point. But yeah, Judge, unstoppable. Ohtani's a creative player. MLB rolls on as we get closer and closer to October. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that said, we have reached the roundup. Honestly, I'm looking at the time. We might be under 30. We might be under 30. All right, no promises. This could be a long roundup, but we might be under 30. So we'll see if I can do that for y'all. But let's get to it, all right? I almost gave motorsport its own segment because it was a big week. All right, it was a big week. F1 came back. Daytona. All right, so let's get to it. NASCAR, welcome back to the top of the roundup because y'all decided to actually want to race at the right time. God bless you, all right? But my goodness, it got sticky. It got sticky. By the way, shout out to Tyler Reddick, I think, won on Monday. And then we go to Daytona, and I know a lot of people, all right, they're sick of the super speedways and the crashes and just the chaos at the end, but I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I love it. I love it. I love the chaos of Daytona or Talladega. I love it. Those are the races that I will sit and I will watch every single lap of a super speedway. I love it. Is it hectic? Is it probably the best racing? No. Is it the most entertaining? Yes. All right? Yes. Okay? Is it probably the best for safety? Probably not. But I love it. Okay? The only thing I will say, though, too many airborne cars yesterday. Might need to fix that. Even though everybody ended up being safe. Shout out to the evolution of the car. Too many airborne. All right? Too many airborne. Josh Berry. Glad he's okay. The one that got stuck on the gun, I forget who that was. Glad they're okay. But I love the chaos, all right? I love the chaos of super speedways. And Daytona provides it every single time. Never misses. Never, ever misses. And, the crazy thing about the playoff and just one win being able to change everything is moments like we had yesterday or last night or on Saturday night for those that are, watching, obviously, on Monday. Harrison Burton was last among active drivers in the standings. He is getting fired from his job, as he said so eloquently yesterday, at the end of the season. He doesn't have a ride. Last in the standings. And Harrison Burton is playoff bound because fortune favored him last night in Daytona, and he wins. Thanks to, by the way, Retzlaff, Xfinity driver in a Cup Series car, gets the push, right, and pushes Harrison, and he holds off Kyle Busch, which got to give credit to Harrison for that, and he's in the playoffs. Doesn't have a ride for next year, leaves in 21, but Harrison is going to the playoffs after being last in the standings. Daytona has now not even provided chaos for the race, but it has provided chaos for the playoffs, because somebody is going to miss it that probably should be in now, and it might be like Bubba or Kyle Busch, who lost this race, who probably should be in, right? Or you think would be in. And they're not going to make it. They're not going to make it because Harrison Burton is in it. So, peak. All right, just peak Daytona chaos. Hilarious. All right, funniest outcome and a super sweet moment for the Burton family. Of course, Jeff is an announcer. He was on the call for this. So that great call. Your boy has done it, Jeff. That was absolutely beautiful stuff. But yeah, Harrison Burton wins Daytona. Just absolute chaos. All right, chaos. I love it. On the other side, in the Dutch Grand Prix in Zandvoort, like no chaos at all. No. McLaren, if you didn't know, now you know. All right, made a statement. They issued a statement. Lando, once again, cannot start to save his life and lost it to Max literally on the first lap. And then McLaren let their nuts hang. And then Lando let his nuts hang. Okay? To put it bluntly, let his nuts hang. Said, I'm him. I'm big dog now. McLaren, we running this now. All right, because it was a dominant performance at the Dutch Grand Prix for Lando Norris, and really could have been for McLaren, but Charles Leclerc showed once again why we regard Charles Leclerc as one of the best drivers on the planet, and somehow held off Oscar. Okay, so credit, he probably should have been driver of the day, but it went to Oscar for putting the longest win gap of the season on Max Verstappen, which you told me that a year ago, I'm laughing in your face. But now McLaren looks dominant. All right, that is so clearly the best car on the. I don't know what Red Bull did to their car, but yeah, big issue. But yeah, Lando dominant. All right, just completely dominant. Quickly took back that lead and didn't let go of it. All right, did not let go of it. This was never in doubt. Simply put, it was never in doubt. At Max's home race, he's won like 2 or 3 straight times. Never looked in doubt. Lando didn't even sweat. And then, to top it off, snatches the fastest lap on the last lap to win. Like, it was just, let his nuts hang. All right, Lando said, I'm him. It's my time. I'm coming. All right, and we might have a title. We might have a title race now. I'm not going to lie. We certainly have a constructor's race. All right, even though Checo didn't win it this week. That was Logan Sargent, who might not have a job next week going into Monza. Hi, Kimi Antonelli. But, yeah. Lando, McLaren, they're coming. All right, they're hunting Red Bull and Max, and we will see what happens. But yeah, motorsport, very fun this week. The W. All right, let's talk about the W. We got to talk about it. Because very fitting how this works out. The 2 young stars, of course, that, have dominated the news. Kane Clark and Jarice took on 2 of the best teams and 2 of the best players. Probably the 2 leading MVP candidates, in my opinion, for the season. So, funny how that worked out. But Aces took on Chicago today, and Kennedy Carter, brought them from the depths, okay? Had 20 in this game. Put them up with like 3.8 seconds to go. Ties the game. We're going to OT, right? Camila's got 5 blocks in this game. Sometimes look like the Camila I always talk about her being. She looked like that at points in this game. And you know that Chicago interior defense has been so good this season with the rookies. So surely Asia Wilson is not going to somehow be able to not just catch the ball, but get a shot up to win the game. Surely that won't happen, but that's exactly what happened in the Aces, who do not at all look like they're about to, get the three-peat, but they find a way to win this one, all right? They get it done 77-75. Asia had a god-awful game, all right, for her purposes. She had 20 and 18, which you're like, ooh, but she also shot 8 for 28. Grim, but when it matters, she's the best player on the planet, and she did what Asia does. All right, that is why she's a 99 overall in 2K. But Asia gets it done, like I said. Angel, before slandering her, I will give her credit, because this is different. This is not normal, okay? Regardless of how you feel about it, it's not normal, okay? Not just for a rookie, okay? That's a whole other thing. But just for anybody to have 3 straight 20-rebound games, that's crazy. That's crazy. She might not be a generational talent, but she's a generational rebounder. All right, I will give Angel that. Absolute force on the boards. Nobody can take that away from her. All right, nobody can take that away from her. This does not mean that the Rookie of the Year conversation is a conversation again. No, absolutely not. But Angel is a star. All right, she's a star for a reason. However, that offensive bag has been looking grim. Okay, still looking grim. Another week of it looking grim, and another week of her shooting like 20% from the field all week. All right, I need her to clean that up because I would love to see some 20-20s on efficiency, and I think we can do that. I don't think that's out of the qualm if Angel gets more efficient. Now I know a lot of those offensive rebounds that we love to see her get are off her own misses. That's the truth. All right, but I want to see her clean up the efficiency. But the rebounding is definitely there. The Sky, once again, they're heading in the right direction. I think Kennedy, you need to find a way. If Teaspoon can control Kennedy and she doesn't lose her head, obviously immensely talented, one of the best guards in the league. But yeah, they're building something special. But the Aces, are the queens for, really Asia Wilson. All right, though Plum Dog was hooping. But yeah, Aces survived by the skin of their teeth thanks to Asia, even though she nearly shot them out of the game. Nafisa Collier. Is this the first time we talked about Fee on the channel, by the way? Or no, it's not. It can't be. But anyways, Fee has been cooking. If you didn't know, Fee has been cooking. I'm gonna say it. I think she's if there's a number 2, all right, Asia's winning MVP. That's set in stone. But number 2 should be Nafisa Collier, in my opinion, for what she's doing with the Lynx right now. By the way, it was also Maya Moore's jersey retirement day, so it's cool to see Maya. But yeah, they took on CC and Indiana, who once again have been super duper hot. So yeah, 2 of the hottest teams in the league going on in the W. And Nafisa had 31-5. I mean, she's been on a tear. By the way, this clinched playoffs for the Lynx, or the Lynx, should I say? So yeah, Fee. All right, she's been hooping. Number 2 in my MVP race, even though it's not really an MVP race, but first team W. All right, first team all W. And really, if Asia and Stewie are your top 2 players in the world, I think Nafisa Collier should be 3. In my opinion, I think Nafisa Collier should be 3. She's amazing. 31-5. CC, for those wondering, had 23-5-8. So yeah, no fall off. That was an okay. She didn't shoot particularly well in this game, and this was like a downish game for her. So yeah, once again, we're kind of getting to that Iowa status where if 23-5-8 is the down game for Caitlin Clark, then yeah, we're all in trouble. All right, we're all in trouble. But Indiana does lose, still got some room to improve. But the Lynx do make the playoffs, and of course, Nafisa Collier is Nafisa Collier. NFL preseason. Before I call this off, all right, the Trey Lance experience. People want to know how I feel about the Trey Lance experience. Well, it's exactly what you would expect. All right, the man got drafted off of his tools. He has barely played football, but the problem is he's a paradox because you need him to play more and get more experience so he can maybe meet that potential. But the problem is he's way too green to play at this level. He really needed that season that got canceled. I mean, he really needed it. Because sometimes he'll look like, yeah, that's a superstar. And other times you look like, why the is he in the NFL? So yeah, that's how I felt about that. I had a fantasy draft this week, so yeah, fantasy season. But yeah, preseason winding down. Good luck to y'all trying to make teams. And yeah, season opens up in 2 weeks. Can't wait for that. We'll be talking about that, of course, here on the 815 Exchange. I think that'll be, 214 when we're back. So we'll talk about that then. Anything else? U.S. Open. U.S. Open starts this week, so we'll be talking about that next week, or at least the opening rounds. I feel like I'm missing something. That also happened this week. But I can't remember anything. Basketball, no. High school football's back, so saw some interesting stuff there, but nothing to talk about really there. But yeah, football's back. So good. So good. Everything is right in the world. Everything is right in the world. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for episode 212. I hope you guys have a good one, but without further ado, Ocho signing off.